26. Complete justice. Article 142. Article 140 is also a basic structure concept. Complete. When there is a legislative vacuum, when there is nothing for the court to decide upon, to use as a reference document, it can do complete justice. So when there is a legislative document, it can use its powers under the Article 142 to do complete justice to the parties. So that is what this is. And also a previous year question, I think this was repeated in 2019 also. 19 on the similar question the question is like Article 142 they asked what is Article 142 do. 27 incorrect regarding parliamentary democracy and presidential democracy. Executive is responsible to the legislature for its policies and acts under the presidential democracy. First statement, executive is responsible in presidential democracy. Actually, take the example of the presidential democracy that we know. Take US for example, and just decide that whatever president does the Congress question him? No, there is no responsibility of the executive to the legislature, and that is one of the hallmarks of parliamentary democracy, where the executive is responsible to the legislature. Yes, first statement is incorrect. Separation of power is lucid under parliamentary democracy. Lucid is something that is well defined. Separation of power in parliamentary democracy, is it well defined? There is a lot of overlaps. Checks and balances, we talk about, yes, there is a lot of checks and balances, but no, it is not that. The second statement is also incorrect. Third, there is harmony between the legislature and executive under presidential democracy. There is not even responsibility. So there will not be any harmony between them. And one of the hallmarks of parliamentary democracy also, we say that there exists a harmony between legislature and executive in parliamentary democracies. So first three statements are incorrect. Fourth statement, president is not answerable to the people under parliamentary democracy. We all know he is a titular head, is a constitutional post only. In our case, 1, 2 and 3 are the incorrect statements. Option D. 28 regarding incidence penetration and incidence density. Incidence penetration is the percentage of incidence premium to GDP. Density, as we all know, it is being calculated by population. Population density of an area is calculated by the population. So yes, in the similar fashion, incidence density is also calculated on the ratio of incidence premium to population. Both statements are correct. C. Question number 29, W20 group. W20 group. The W20 group was recently brought. G20, women-led discussion, gender-based discussions were brought. So that is what the W20 group is. A. 30, defense public sector undertakings. These questions and all these are very dry areas that has to be noted. Unless and until you can eliminate or know for sure, please do avoid such questions, because these questions, they have a lot of abilities, they have a lot of chances. Chances are very high for these questions to go wrong. So all four are defense public sector undertakings. Goa Shipyard, Gliders, Yantra and India Optel. All four are defense public sector undertakings, and these factual questions, yes, if at all you know completely, if you are completely sure, please go for it, rather than being in a cat on the wall situation. 31, breakthrough agenda report. Breakthrough agenda report. I think we have discussed this earlier also. Breakthrough agenda report. I think we have discussed somewhere in Prelims breakthrough agenda report released by United Nations high-level climate champions, International Energy Agency and ARENA. Option B, breakthrough agenda report. IEA, IRENA and HLCC, high level climate champion, high level champions. National Commission for Minorities. National Commission for Minorities, yes, it is a statutory body. Statutory body which has a lot of powers, which has the powers to safeguard the minorities or disseminate information about the constitutional and legal safeguards that they have. This particular organization has one member, one chairman, one vice chairperson, and 5 members who are being nominated by the central government. And the powers for deciding a minority rest with the central government rather than the commission. The second statement says that the repository of powers to declare, repository is that the power is being held by the National Minorities Commission to declare a community as minorities community. No, it does not happen. This does not work like that. It is the central government who holds the power to declare a community as a minorities community, and in such a way only recently in 2014 Jains were declared as a minority community. So B, 1 only is correct. Option B, 1 only is correct. Option B, 1 only is correct.
Commission can only give recommendations.
Commission can only give recommendations. He can only submit reports. What is happening? What is happening? Or what are the safeguards that they have, and how far these safeguards have been implemented to protect minorities. That is what a commission can do. 33. And commission, this is completely second statement. All question. Second statement, like, it does not make sense at all. Commission, you see, or chair, or vice chair, or 5 பேர், can they decide if a particular community is a minority or not? The parliament has to decide. The people has to decide. People in the sense the parliament, the government has to decide. 33. Proportional representation. Proportional representation. So there are different types of elections, and two types of elections that we use is the proportional representation and the first past the post system. First past the post system, there is this particular thing. Whoever gains the majority, whoever runs past the post first, he wins the race. But in the proportional representation, people vote for parties. And the number of votes or the percentage of votes that the particular party gets decides the percentage of seats that the particular party is allotted. BJP gets 90 seats, 90% of the votes, 90% of the seats will go to BJP. So there is a large scale chance that smaller parties are being represented. So rather than a post, for example, let us take the Naam Tamilar, they are claiming that they have 8% vote base in Tamil Nadu. Claim பண்றாங்களா? அது எந்த அளவுக்கு உண்மைன்றது தெரியல, but yes, that is what they claim. இப்போ 8% இருக்கு, இதுவே வந்து, ஆனா if you see 8% vote அவங்க வாங்குறாங்கன்னு சொல்லிக்கிறாங்க அவங்க, but எதுலயுமே ஒரு சீட் கூட ஜெயிக்க முடியல அவங்களால. When you look at the last elections in Tamil Nadu, 2022 state elections, so it narrates something different. Even though they get 8% of the votes, they are not able to win even a single seat. This is what the drawback of the first past the post system, where small parties cannot get seats. They cannot win. So, but in the proportional representation is very difficult to comprehend. That is why we went to the first past the post system. But in proportional representation, even a small party, even a party very, very small that only gains 1% or 2% of the votes, can have the possibility to be represented in the assembly. So that is what the proportional representation is. Not for the person, but for the party. In this system, all sections of people get representation in the proportion to their number. Number எவ்வளவு இருக்காங்களோ அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி வந்து படிப்பாங்க. இது நான் பார்ட்டிஸ்னு சொல்றோம். இது அப்படியே you can also mix it with lions, tigers, cubs. In India, this system is adopted for the election of president and vice president only. ராஜ்யசபாவும் யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. ராஜ்யசபா மெம்பர்ஸ் எலெக்ட் பண்றதுக்கும் வந்து யூஸ் பண்றாங்க PRS TV தான். சரிங்களா? PRS TV. So only, and PRS TV has different sides.
Vice president is chosen as a chairperson among the Rajya Sabha, right? Not that those who are all the part of Rajya Sabha can be a vice president. Inside the Rajya Sabha, they conduct the election to be a chairperson in the Rajya Sabha.
No.
Speak.
Both houses they participate in vice presidential elections.
Okay.
ரெண்டு பேருமே வந்து எலெக்ஷன்ஸ்ல பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. எக்ஸ் அஃபிஷியோ சேர்பர்சன் ஆஃப் ராஜ்யசபா. எக்ஸ் அஃபிஷியோ சேர்பர்சன் ஆஃப் ராஜ்யசபா. President, Vice President and Rajya Sabha members are being elected through PRSTV, and different forms of PR is there, and one form that we use is that single transferable vote. Single transferable vote, where the votes of, there will be this very big sheet of candidate 1, candidate 2, candidate 3, and I'll have to choose candidate 2 is my preference 1, candidate 1 is my preference 2, candidate 4 is my preference 3, and candidate 3 is my preference 4. They'll have this particular quota. Who have crossed this quota moves to the second round. And this quota, all the time they'll be checking this quota, and the last person, let us say if 2 wins the quota in the last round 1 and 2 are left, and 2 is coming at the top, and since 2 will become the president or the vice president for that matter. That is the system that we use, the single transferable voting system. One will be eliminated, another will replace him. 34 neobanks. Neobanks are banking platforms completely online based on digital banking platforms. They provide both credit and lending services. Yes, they provide both credit and lending services. Neobanks, owing to the large scale happenings of today's conventional banking system, so this very tedious process. If you want to go deposit or withdraw money from a particular conventional brick and mortar structure, it takes almost half a day to do that. Given the amount of transactions and the level of patience that bank employees have, it almost takes around half a day to do that. But today's fast-paced world, today's digital economy, in fact is led by digital space, and all this has been catered, has been taken as an opportunity for such banks called as neobanks, who have complete online presence, and they are completely different from what is called as a digital bank. Digital banks have brick and mortar structures. For example, SBI can open a digital banking, but it cannot have a neobank. It cannot go completely in a digital space. There are other banks who can go completely to a digital space, and they are called as neobanks. They do not have a brick and mortar structure, and they can do credit and lending services also. And at the tip of your fingers, you can have your bank account opened, cancelled, withdrawn, money deposited. All these things can be done. Yes, neobanks. These are neobanks, and neobanks, they do not have a license at all. They do not want license. It is given as very extreme statement. Neobanks must have a banking license. It's not like that. They can operate without that also. So first 2 statements are correct. Third statement is incorrect. This major difference has to be noted: digital banks versus neobanks. Fiscal glide path. Recent budget talked about fiscal glide path. We would have come across this term called as fiscal consolidation. Fiscal consolidation means the efforts of the government in order to control fiscal deficit. So fiscal consolidation is based, it has been discussed with respect to a lot of measures that the government has taken in order to reduce fiscal deficit, and the culmination of all these efforts and the route that it takes, it is called as the fiscal glide path. So the roadmap for fiscal consolidation to meet its fiscal deficit target. So today's fiscal deficit target is 3%, right? FRBM Act has set up as 3% with a breathing room of plus or minus 5%. 0.5%, plus or minus 0.5%. Yes. C, the roadmap for fiscal consolidation to meet its fiscal deficit targets. That is what a fiscal glide path is. Moving on to the next question. Question number 36. Ozone depleting substances. Ozone depleting substances. எல்லாத்தையும் போட்டீங்களா? I think we have discussed last class also we discussed like chlorine, bromine vandale vandu confirm they are ozone depleting அப்படின்ட்டு. So I told this exact statement I told you people because last test lime vandu it was also there was this question regarding Vienna Convention, Montreal Protocol and Kigali Agreement. So when I told that yes, whenever there comes chloro or bromo in a substance, that is ozone depleting. Methyl bromide, yes, bromine is there. Hydrobromofluorocarbons, yes, bromine is there. Carbon tetrachloride, methyl chloroform, chlorine is there. So all these 4 substances are ozone depleting substances. Option D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 37. The idea of Constituent Assembly for India was put forward for the first time by M. Roy. First thing that we study in polity, the Constituent Assembly chapter, I think the second chapter in Lakshmikant, M. Roy, communist. 38. Pent-up demand. Being not be. If something is pent up, what is the meaning of pent up? Pent up is something that is stored. You have this pent up feelings, pent up anger, anger, something that is being stored. This is what pent up means. Pent up demand is also same thing because during the COVID times, people were not. The economy was not open. It was very closed. Lockdowns were happening. People could not satisfy the demand. They want something, they could not buy anything. So when the economy opened, all people, whatever they had, they poured it into the economy. They wanted to buy something. Even though they did not need that product, they wanted to buy something, they went and brought a lot of things. This is what pent-up demand is, the return to consumerism after a period of inactivity. Same example, take COVID, lockdowns for 4-5 months. 6th month they opened the economy and everyone who saved this 5 months of salary, those who were earning in that particular time period, they went and they bought things they don't even need. This is what return to consumerism is. The general public strong return to consumerism following a period of decreased spending. 39. Viability gap funding, viability gap finance is meant for projects infrastructure projects. So viability gap funding is funding that is being given for projects that are very good, but are not financially viable. We all know, yes, this is one of the best products that we can do, but these products cost or that particular project cost will be very high. So at this time, we cannot completely rely on private sources. Sometimes the government initiates, the government agencies, they try to partner up with these private investors by giving viability gap funding. They have a lot of mechanisms to get back this viability funding also. But viability gap funding is mostly concentrated on infrastructure projects that are very good but are not financially viable. போடுற காசு எடுக்க முடியுமான்னு தெரியாத ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ்க்காக வந்து இந்த மாதிரி viability gap funding தருவாங்க. So B3 only. Competition Commission of India 40. Constitution Commission of India, statutory body, consists of chairperson 1+6 members appointed by the central government. Competition is not applicable in case of public financial institutions. Yes. Incorrect is asked. B. None of these statements are incorrect. Yes, it is a statutory body, Competition Act. Members are appointed by the central government 1+6. And Competition Act is not applicable in the case of public financial institutions, foreign institutional investors, venture capitalists, banks, intellectual property rights. In all these cases, Competition Act does not apply. That is what third statement also tells us. Incorrect is asked. None of these statements are incorrect. All 3 statements are correct. None of these statements are incorrect. 41, Schengen zone or Schengen area. We have discussed Schengen area earlier also. The place, 27 country place where there are no borders. You don't need visa in order to visit these 27 countries in Europe. One particular visa is enough, can go to the 27 countries. So this is what the Schengen zone or Schengen area is. Schengen area was brought in 1985. It was brought in 1985. The disintegration of Soviet Union was in 1991. The first statement is incorrect there. Both Slovakia and Slovenia are part of the Schengen zone. Both Slovakia and Slovenia are part of the Schengen zone. So both statements are incorrect. The true statements are asked. Neither one nor two is true. Neither A nor B is correct. Neither A nor B is correct. Next question, 42. Deputy Speaker. Only two. Article 93 talks about Speaker and Deputy Speaker. The first statement says that it is a ceremonial post. No, it is not a ceremonial post, it is a constitutional post. Deputy Speaker has the same powers as the Speaker when presiding over sitting of the House. Yes, obviously he is the Speaker. He acts as the Speaker itself. Only two is correct. 43. Who among the following countries are fighting for the ownership of Spratly Islands, archipelago, and nearby geographical features like coral reefs, cays, and bays? Spratly, where are the Spratly Islands located? Spratly Islands is a group of islands. It is located in the South China Sea. So, South China Sea, there are two groups of islands, or two archipelagos. There have been a bone of contention between a group of states, group of sovereigns. One group is the Spratly Islands in the South China Sea, and other is the Postal Islands in the South China Sea. Postal Islands in the South China Sea. We have Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Maldives, Myanmar, BCTM, Philippines, Malaysia, Philippines, and Brunei Darussalam. BCTM, Philippines is one particular mnemonic that I use. Victims, Philippines and Brunei. Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, and Brunei Darussalam. So China, Brunei, and Vietnam fight here. So 1, 3, and 4. 1, 3, and 4, option C. 44. Fun. 44. Constitutional torts. Constitutional torts are nothing but the ability to sue someone. The ability to sue someone in the sense to file a case against someone. So that is what a tort is. In tort, there are different types of torts. There are civil torts, also constitutional torts. And what this constitutional torts talks about is that if a particular government does not fulfill a constitutional obligation that it has, there is the individuals or the subjects or citizens, they have the ability to sue the particular government. Today, can you sue Indian government? Can you question Indian government? There are possibilities, right? Yes, you can do. You can sue the Indian government. So, constitutional tort is present in India, and the courts also have the power to provide. If a person is genuinely affected by the lack of constitutional obligation by the particular government, courts have the power to give monetary compensation to the victim. And our constitution under Article 300 outrightly does not talk about constitutional torts. It has Article 300 as a provision that it talks about the liabilities of the government. So it says that the government can be sued and the government can also sue. The government can file cases and cases can be filed against the state also. So this is what the constitutional tort is, and Indian constitution is not silent. Article 300 talks about constitutional torts. So first statement is incorrect, and second statement, yes, it is true. B, only 2. 45. Charai Dio Moidams. Charai Dio Moidams. Assam. Charai Dio Moidams. Charai Dio Moidams are nothing but burials of the Ahom kingdoms. Ahom kings are buried there. In the 18th century, we all know the Ahom kings, right? Assamese people. So even today, there are a lot of apprehensions, a lot of controversies surrounding Ahom kings, that they are Indians or not. And one famous Ahom ruler is Lachit Borphukan. You would have come across him, Lachit Borphukan, who fought and defeated Battle of Saraigat. Yes, Battle of Saraigat. He fought and defeated the Mughals also. Ahom kingdom has much importance in these sites. There is this Chawlung Sukhapaika, this king, and Lachit Borphukan. It's a general under the Ahom kingdom. All these people are buried there. Those burials of the Ahom kingdom is there in Charai Deva Moidams, not very well cared for. The petty state of Charai Deva Moidams was the reason they were in use. Okay. Yes, Assam. Coming at the first past the post system, 46. 46. Yes, this is what we discussed now, right? 46. First past the post system. Smaller parties have a better chance of gaining representation. No, obviously NTK would have been a major party if that has been the case. Representatives are elected on the basis of party seats. No, representatives elected because they are representatives. On individual basis they are selected. Neither one nor two. Neither one nor two. Neither one nor two. 47. Purchasing Managers Index. Purchasing Managers Index. Actually, the question has to be like, which of the following is incorrect? Correct, it is given as correct. The question is small change in small correction in the question. It has to be incorrect. Which of the following statements are incorrect? The first statement talks about Purchasing Managers Index that is being produced or being released by IHS Markit. An organization called as IHS Markit releases PMI. An organization called as IHS Markit releases PMI. So this particular PMI, it has for manufacturing and services two separate sectors, two separate indices are produced, and from that a combined index is being released. This is how this works. The first statement is correct. Second statement, it ranges from 0 to 100. Ranges from 0 to 100. 50, no change. 50 and above, yes, the economy is expanding. Below 50, the economy is contracting. So this is how the IHS market based PMI index is read. Okay. So higher PMI indicates a contracting economy. It is a false statement. Higher PMI, let us say PMI of 90 says the economy is expanding. So second statement and third statement are incorrect. Now we have changed there's a small correction in the question that it is incorrect. Which of the following statements are incorrect? C, 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are statements that are incorrect. 48. Which of the other question? 48. Which of the following statements are incorrect? A bill pending in Rajya Sabha but not passed by Lok Sabha lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. A bill passed by both houses but returned by the President for reconsideration of houses lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha.
It depends on the origination of the bill, from which house it got origination.
Yes, what is the answer then?
Both are incorrect.
Both are?
Incorrect. If the bill is originating from Lok Sabha, then statement 1 is correct. It goes for the second statement also.
Not passed by the Lok Sabha, right?
Yeah. Not if it is not passed by the Lok Sabha, then it is originated in Rajya Sabha. Then it has nothing to do
with the dissolution of Lok Sabha.
So it is incorrect. Then it comes to the second one. Both the houses have passed it. Again, the president is returning it. We come back to the house where it has been originated at the first place. So second statement we can't say because we don't know which house it got originated.
So both statements are incorrect. Yes, both 1 and 2 are incorrect. So lapse, when will a bill lapse? Any bill that has anything to do with or it is pending in the Lok Sabha lapses. Either originated here, let us say Lok Sabha to Rajya Sabha, pending in the Lok Sabha itself. pending in the Lok Sabha itself, this will lapse. Passed by the Lok Sabha but pending in the Rajya Sabha, this will lapse. This will lapse. Then it was pending in the, like pending, both sides are pending, originated and pending, and came from there and pending, this will lapse. Originated in the Rajya Sabha and then came to Lok Sabha and is pending here, it will lapse. It will lapse. மூணு மாதிரியும் வந்து irrespective of its origination, if a bill is pending in Lok Sabha, it will lapse on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. புரியுதுங்களா? Green credit program has been notified under which of the following? I think we have discussed this also in Prelims Power Play. Environmental Protection Act. Paris Club. Aid for infrastructure projects in developing countries. Paris Club is nothing but a group of creditor countries. அது இல்லைங்க, லைக் இந்த ஒரு பெரிய குரூப் ஆஃப் கிரெடிட்டார் கண்ட்ரிஸ், பெரிய பெரிய கண்ட்ரிஸ் லைக் ஃப்ரான்ஸ், இந்த மாதிரியான கண்ட்ரிஸ் எல்லாமே வந்து சேர்ந்து இந்த சின்ன சின்ன கண்ட்ரிஸ்க்கு லோன் தராங்க இல்லைங்களா. ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து பாரிஸ் கிளப் அப்படின்றது, கிரெடிட்டார் நேஷன்ஸை சேர்ந்தது.